Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where at the end of last episode I noticed this, which is unfortunate. I had hoped that this was dead ending, but we knew that this was a possibility, and ultimately, giving up these systems isn't the biggest of deals. So we're going to accept this, and we're going to tell them they can go to Proton if they want to. This is a perfectly even position right here, so I don't mind that. That's not a big deal there. Okay, let's take a look at our civilian ships here. Not a whole lot going on there. Good to know. Just wanted to make sure that nothing was just sitting idle. That's the word I'm looking for. Fantastic. The very geological structure of TRAPPIST-2 is indeed in flux, driven by what Science Officer Clay McKenzie assures us is a tectonic process as fascinating as it is esoteric. What is of more interest to the human Star League is that we may be able to strategically halt the planet's ceaseless chaotic self-transformation. In short, a near-instant stabilization of the planet into something slightly, if not entirely, more habitable is theoretically possible. Clay McKenzie estimates that an additional 200 energy credits will be needed to power a thorough mapping of planetary activity and determine the validity of what the science officer has termed a surgical terraforming strike. Actual terraforming lies beyond our grasp at present, so this is an exciting opportunity. Do it. 50% chance. We'll find out. And it failed. Okay. Sad. Well, that's reasonably expected, in all honesty. So the first fleet is now back at Sol, and it has been fully upgraded. That's great. We are heading up towards Alpha Centauri to grab that Bowel Colony investigation, and we finished building a starbase in Volmar. So we're going to build our mining and research stations here, and then we'll head up to Mublar after that. Cool. The Ganges is up over here, and we'll build its research stations, and we should be able to afford grabbing Van Tandemian. I kind of had to sound that one out for a moment there. Van Tandemian is not that difficult, but it was lengthy, that's for sure. Our researchers were excited to discover the location of the third Bowel Colony corresponds to a planet still possessing an atmosphere and life. While Alpha Centauri Prime does not seem particularly lush, we've colonized it, or remarkably resource-laden, our scientists are eager to begin a targeted excavation to search for any remnants of the Bowel or the Gruner. Okay. So there's another archaeological site over here. It is done. Miraculously, once our scientists installed the proper modifications on our vessel, they were able to recreate the initial cascade. This time, the effect was different, and life started springing back up all over Region 6 in a great wave. Fantastic news. So we managed to save all that life. That's great. We can excavate this site in Alpha Centauri, and this science ship down here in TRAPPIST is going to head down over here next. Cool.
Technology discovered.
We also can grab ourselves colonization fever, which I suppose we will do. And we have research alternatives here. What else can we get? I guess we could grab basic combat roles. That'll be fine. We're going to have destroyers done in 3 months as well. So that's good to know. We are at 43 out of 50 naval cap right now, so we're going to need to do something about that. We're constructing our way over this way. I did just see someone enter Murga. We may end up losing Murga. We'll see. Destroyer is now done, and we're going to grab ion thrusters here. Fantastic. Now we're going to get ourselves some destroyers, and we're going to not auto-upgrade this. For the time being... I'm thinking a gunship bow is fine here, but maybe also a gunship stern. And we'll do something kind of like this to evenly spread between lasers and mass drivers for the moment. We don't have any other weapon types just now, but for the moment that will work. And I like these to be in straight lines. It does absolutely nothing. We can put on afterburners as well, and boost up our evasion a little bit in the Novgorod class. We can also go to our corvettes, and we're currently running reactor boosters here. I would rather run afterburners for additional evasion in the Coyote class. Fantastic. So we're going to upgrade these Coyote class corvettes. There we go. And we're also going to add in a ship design destroyer. We'll add 5 destroyers here, which of course will be 10 naval cap, and we don't quite have the naval cap to max this all out. But for the moment, that's reasonably fine. We also don't have the alloys, for the record. So we're going to take these corvettes down to Ebonar. We also got our pop growth speed. That's great. For the moment, we're going to go for society research from researchers. And the Slurpanor have rivaled the Vor as well. That's interesting. We can play them off of each other to some degree.
Anomaly detected.
Despite the planet's lack of atmosphere, there's evidence of some kind of artificial structures on Ain 3 that may indicate a past civilization. Well, we'll look into that. Okay. And they rivaled each other back.
Construction complete.
We will build our mining and research stations here, and then we're simply going to move into Puntrazd. The crew of the UES Santa Maria were intrigued. That's Slurpanor out over here? Okay. We're intrigued to find the remnants of an industrial age civilization on Ain 3. Investigation indicates Ain 3 had sustained an atmosphere for millions of years until massive superflares from the unstable surface of the star led to runaway ionization and depletion of the planet's atmospheric gases. With no atmosphere, the lifeless cities on Ain 3 have been frozen in time for millennia, silent monuments to the mass extinction that happened here. Science Officer Clay Mackenzie cautions that any colonies in the Ain system may be subject to the whims of the star's turbulence. Well, they only have a tomb world there, so that's probably not that big of a deal. The scout is going to continue heading down this direction. Cool. How are we doing on our planets? Our capital requires a job. Okay. We're low on consumer goods for the moment, so we will put in an industrial district here. That will help matters there a bit. So that'll be great. Okay, all things considered, this is going reasonably well.
Survey complete.
Oh, that survey finished up here. Yep. Arthropodal herds navigate Ain 4C's blasted surface with ease. We'll take a look at that. And we'll move these guys back to Sol to be upgraded. Cool.
Construction complete.
So the Orinoco has finished up in Mublar, and we will go ahead and build there before we head into Lessim after that. Fantastic. We encountered someone in Nolion. They had to have come through the wormhole. The Upsilon aliens. Okay. In that case, well, first off, we need to go into our situation log, and we need to work on that first contact. Okay. It's just space amoebas. Not a big deal. While the planet is prohibitively irradiated, at least one advanced form of life flourishes on Ain 4C. Arthropodal in nature, Science Officer Clay Mackenzie reports that the creatures exhibit impressive collective decision-making skills, and that outside stimulus may spur them to greater evolutionary heights. Something to keep in mind for the future. Indeed. This science ship is not doing anything for the moment, and let's head off over this direction. Cool. So we're still building stations up here, and that will continue for a bit yet. That's great. Okay, we have a campaign underway. Plus 15 per month for our food surplus. Can we just buy 13 and then cancel it after the election? I'll buy 15. I wonder if that would work.
Survey complete.
Okay, that'll be announced after the first. Cool. So basic combat roles finishes up, and I think at this point we will grab moat harvesting traps. Cool. That also, of course, means that we can upgrade our corvettes even further. So we will go ahead and grab the... Let's see, we could grab Swarm for the time being, and we're going to do that for now. But we are eventually... Okay, fantastic. The mandate was indeed fulfilled, and we will cancel this now. Okay, so for now, we're going to have these be swarm. What they're not going to be... Okay, yeah, we'll deal with this in a moment. What they're not going to be, for the moment, is picket ships. And that's because we don't have any picket ship weapon types. Upon entering Nolyan, our sensors picked up strange readings. Dismissed at first as glorified asteroids, things quickly changed when it was discovered that these entities reacted aggressively to movement in space, even at a great distance. Observation of these entities, preferably from a safe distance, is advised. Best viewed from afar. Keep it up. We don't have anything in the Nolyan system, so they can't really do anything for the moment. Cool. So we're negative on our food and our consumer goods for the moment. That is certainly a bit of a problem. We will need an agro world, and this is currently set up as an industrial world. We may switch that over to a consumer goods world. In fact, we could do that right now temporarily, switch that over to a factory world,
Ships
and that
upgraded.
should boost this pretty dramatically. Cool. So the third fleet can head back to Ebenar at this time. And how's the scout doing out over this way? It needs to continue scouting. Fine. We're going to head down here. And we're traveling in over this way. We're going to go ahead and build a starbase out here, since I believe we are currently building this one as well. Yes, that is fine. No problem whatsoever there.
Survey
Beautiful.
complete.
Okay, so we can see that we have a branch off here and one down here where both of these come together here. Fascinating. Excavation at Alpha Centauri Prime have revealed a number of fossils clearly related to the bowel, but curiously, these specimens appear to have diminished neurological organs required for subspace Ephapes? I don't know how to pronounce that word. I've run into this previously. I remember not knowing how to pronounce it in a previous series. And I remember looking it up, but I don't remember what it actually was. So, let's look this up here. How do you pronounce this?
Ephaps.
Okay, well, there you go. Apparently it's pronounced Ephaps. Cool. That is to say, the ability to communicate neurologically over great distances, a faculty unique to hive minds. What definitive causes may have precipitated this evolutionary swing are unknown, though it would be remiss to assume that Gruner invasion was unrelated. Further investigation is warranted. Well, we'll look into that for sure. We're going to send the first fleet back to be upgraded, of course. Okay. Space amoebas. The entities encountered by our fleet some time ago are spaceborne forms of life. Quickly nicknamed Space Amoeba following a tactician's gross misreading of initial sensor output, the creature is in fact larger than the average human Starleague corvette. The creature displays aggressive behavior towards human Starleague ships, but further study may be warranted. So, damage to Space Amoebas and energy credits for every fleet destroyed, or Space Amoeba study, which we're going to do.
An alien empire is making contact.
Cool. That also gives us a bunch of influence, which is great. We'll get that underway.
Construction complete.
Our sensors indicate odd irregularities in Farragon's energy emission pattern. Well, we'll look into that, and we'll build our mining and
Construction
research
complete.
stations here, and then we'll move up into Murga. Cool. Up here, we will build our research stations only. We're not able to build this mining station because that's an exotic gas. We'll have to come back to that. The latest sensory readings from Farragon show the star pulsating regularly, but when the crew on UES Scout arrived on site, there was no evidence to support this data. While most of the crew are in agreement that the anomaly was caused by a sensory malfunction, Science Officer Elsa Meyer discards this theory. Elsa Meyer claims to have discovered similar pulsating energy patterns elsewhere, and now fears that something strange is happening to the galaxy's stars. They've charted the course to the nearest affected star. So, that gives us Unity, or we could look into it. We're going to take the Unity here. I have never seen the science officer be correct about this. So, we're just going to take the Unity. Beautiful. Anything on our worlds right now? That's a
Anomaly
negative.
detected.
Okay. The asteroid 2940BRF is emitting some form of radiation in controlled bursts. Is something, trying to communicate with us? Well, we'll check. Possibly is the answer. 2940 BRF is particularly hollow. Within its interior spaces sprawls a dense honeycomb structure crafted of some unknown alloy, housing containers of alien genetic material. By all appearances, this is an archive of life, the genetic record of some earlier civilization come and gone. Most of the DNA is hopelessly degraded, but there is still much to learn here. Okay, some science to be found there. Cool. Okay.
Survey complete.
So we're still pushing our way out this direction. We can see that we need to move here next. We don't really know what's out this way just yet. But this is very, very interesting, for sure. We've got a lot of space here. Even with losing this area. This is kind of irrelevant to us, in all honesty. So we're going to head up into Murga, and we just got moat harvesting traps. Next up, I believe we are going to go with... Gravitic sensors are pretty good. For sure. We'll take gravitic sensors. It is good to have more information. Okay, we're going to have ion thrusters done in a couple of months too, which of course means that these guys are going to get further upgraded. That's okay. We're continuing to go a bit negative on food. Now, this tech world here, it does have that physics research from jobs. We could temporarily put in an agriculture district here just to offset our food cost.
Complete.
The space amoebas, the name has stuck as a pronunciation of the proper xenotaxonomic denominator is too unwieldy for the average human, are solitary animals when left to their own devices. All but the youngest specimens are accompanied by quasi-independent flagella, organisms spawned by the amoeba and programmed through liquid RNA-laced secretions to do the bidding of the host. These flagella are capable of manipulating and even attacking objects in an impressive, yet restricted range around the host, periodically returning to lodge inside the host amoeba's body for reprogramming. There are potential military applications to be found in the regenerative properties of the amoeba's thick hide, or in the flagella's graceful patterns of movement. Just a flat evasion plus 5%. Yes, please, the flagella are fascinating. Cool. Okay, down over this way, we're going to shy over towards this direction to try to get more info over here. Cool. The ion thruster did finish up, and we can grab gas extraction wells next. Cool. Younger bowel fossil specimens have been uncovered from the geological record, though these no longer have diminished hive neurologies. Instead, the structures required for subspace AFAPS communication are entirely missing. Carbon dating of the specimens has confirmed that some hundreds of years following the Gruner invasion, the bowel began to devolve their ability to connect to one another as a hive mind. Unfortunately, it seems no further relevant data can be extracted from this site. How strange. Okay. So, we found the 3 colonies, and it seemed like something generated. For now, we're going to head up here and excavate this site. A large derelict space station is trapped in a slow terminal orbit inside the atmosphere of this gas giant. The gravitational stresses will likely destroy it completely within the next 1,000 years. It has not yet drifted deep enough into the atmosphere to make archaeological expeditions to the station impossible. Well, we'll look into that. And there's that Gruner distress signal. Okay, we figured something like this was coming. Our scientists are picking up a distress signal bearing a Gruner datalogical signature. It appears to originate from a system previously unknown to us near Hizar. What kind of ancient message could it possibly contain? Our scientists would like to investigate the signal's point of origin. Okay, so it's off over here. And we'll come down there and research it. We'll do that first. Fantastic. Okay. So, what else do we have going on here? Well, we are expanding quite a lot. Oh, that was an anomaly. This asteroid recently suffered an impact from another body within the asteroid belt, which resulted in a slightly changed orbit and a massive crater on the surface. Okay, well, we'll look into that. We'll head over to Jormundir next. And of course, we have the Murga starbase, which is beautiful. That gives us those 3 alloys per month. That's a big deal.
Construction complete.
And that also cuts off the Vor technocracy, so that's great. Upon closer examination, we have discovered that a smaller asteroid consisting almost entirely of precious metals recently collided with E44ST. The small but dense cache of metals was hidden just beneath the asteroid's surface, but now that it has been discovered, it should be accessible for mining.
Survey
Okay.
complete.
So, looking out over this way, this direction is the way to go from here. Interesting. We see that there's a connection here, but this is all cut off over this way. That's very good for us. So we're going to continue pressing down this way with our appendage, and that's okay. Cool.
Construction complete.
So we know there's a connection over here, for sure. The Ganges finishes up its construction, and we will build all of those stations up there. That's absolutely phenomenal. Ah, we just lost a scientist. I've already explained. Reroute the power converter to the auxiliary manifold. No, not that power converter. Must I do everything Oh, customers! Welcome, please. We bear many goods. We have many wares, all carted safely through the stars for your convenience. Well, let's see what they've got. We have a special offer. Inimitable technology, only developed by the Racket Industrial Enterprise. Do you have trouble penetrating the defensive grids of planets? We can show you a way, very advanced, very technical, of improved bombardment. We call it the Orbital Trash Disperser. Give us 1,000 energy credits, then we will show you the method, and you will have a component to add to your ships. Sure.
Technology.
What else are we going to spend that 1,000 energy credits on? What does that actually do? 25% orbital bombardment damage. Okay, we probably don't really care about that, but that's fine. So we do need a researcher for our society tree. We'll go with Emma Stein here because of the biology expertise. Cool. And this tech world here does require housing and a job, which means the city district will fill both of those roles. We can get a planetary administration upgrade here as well. That will solve that. And on Earth, we'll put in an agriculture district for the moment. Cool. An urgent missive from Alpha Centauri Prime indicates that a number of now former members of the Racket Industrial Enterprise seek political asylum on the planet. The local administration has seen fit to pass a decision of what to do with them up the chain of command, rather. We don't currently allow refugees. We should. Let's see here. Refugees. Refugees welcome. All may contribute to the Human Star League. Beautiful. We allow refugees because they will become voters. And voters are good. So on this planet here, we need a job. We have two worker unemployment, and we should definitely get ourselves a research lab. Consider it done. And getting more pop is always a very, very good thing for us. Although Cybin 5 appears totally desolate and devoid of life, our scanners have picked up an encrypted signal emanating from it. Well, we'll look into that. And the Santa Maria is not doing anything right now. We'll continue to head towards the center of the galaxy over here. Cool. Having decrypted the signal, Elsa Meyer was astonished to discover it was broadcast in an archaic form of one of the main human languages. Speaking in these, thous, and whenceforths, it appears to be reciting one of the lost works of William Shakespeare, a renowned human playwright who lived some 600 years ago. It appears that the broadcasting device, a simple satellite dish protected by a small shelter, is the only non-natural structure on planet. There's no hint as to who left it there or why, but going by the wear and tear on evidence, it must have been there since shortly after the play was first written. Long before humans, I always forget that it's humans, learned the secret of space travel. We can only assume it was left there by ancient visitors to Earth who took a liking to the play and decided to pay our species a strange and unexpected tribute. I think that we are going to take the Unity. Thank you very much. Wonderful news. That does, of course, mean that we can finish out the expansion tree. That gives us 10% pop growth speed, which is very, very good for us. And at this point, I think that we should probably consider going for Imperial Prerogative, maybe? Maybe. I don't think Interstellar Dominion... Well, actually, Interstellar Dominion is probably good for us. We'll take that. Starbase and Claim influence cost reductions. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue trying to feel out where our borders will be. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Kazaral, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Ken2In, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Raw Potato, Elmichi Nazi, Justin Everett, Emiliano Cambron, Martin Lawrence, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.